ओके सो मेरे को देखने दो, माइक चल रहा है, इसमें माइक चल रहा है, स्क्रीन सही शेयर है, स्क्रीन सही शेयर है, ओके डन. So this would be a session where uh, you can expect a kind of top to down approach of my model, like going over those advanced things as well, which I don't normally include. But here I won't go in depth for the simple thing, which is like what is a relevant swing. Yes, you should be probably knowing it by this time. If you do not know about it, rewatch my previous videos, my YouTubes. So I would keep this more detailed for the advanced things so that I can simplify those advanced things as well. Yes, I would just give a sneak peek overview for the simple things. I won't go in much depth for the simple thing. Okay, let's start. Two things which are the core of my model, obviously relevant swings, obvious, and phases of price. Okay, now relevant क्या लिख दिया मैंने, बता नहीं सकते, गलतियाँ मेरी, चलो ठीक है.
इंसान गलती करके सीखता है भाई।
चुप चुप, फ्लो नहीं तोड़ना मेरा, मैं भूल जाऊंगा. तो अब कोर ऑफ माई, यार ये इसकी डैश की डैश, क्या हो रहा है इसको. हाँ ठीक है. ओके डन. You should be probably knowing it, but I would go into depth, but not for the simple thing, for the advanced thing. Okay, obviously price tags the relevant swing, xyz blah blah blah. Now you expect two things, either manipulation, either breakthrough. Okay, let me find a clear example where I can go in a bit more depth. uh, Let me find a simple position of my मंडे को क्या लिया था मैंने कुछ. ओम भाई मैंने लिया था मंडे को कुछ कि मंडे को अगर लिया था, वही वाला एक्सप्लेन कर दूँ तो इट वुड बी बेटर. उसके साथ अप्रोच भी अगर एक्सप्लेन कर दूँ. ई एस शॉर्ट्स मोस्ट प्रोबेबली, या वाई एम शॉर्ट्स, ई एस शॉर्ट्स, पर ये समझाने लायक नहीं है. आई मीन नॉट द टेक्स्ट बुक सेटअप, दैट्स वाई समझाने लायक नहीं. नेक्स्ट डे क्या लिया था, अगर मैंने लिया था किसी और एसेट पे, यस, काइंड ऑफ समथिंग आई कैन यूज. कहाँ पे लिया था, यहाँ पे लिया था. हाँ, दिस इज गुड एग्जांपल. इसी दिन आरटीफाई पे भी अगर लिया था मैंने शायद. क्या वो अच्छी एग्जांपल है समझाने लायक? यस इट इज. ओके डन. दीज टू आई वुड इंक्लूड. ओके, फर्स्ट स्टेप is obviously using a relevant swing. Let me remove this. मैं मार्च लाऊंगा. Here, this is a relevant swing to me. This swing here is just a mere failure swing to this. So yes, this is where I would put my relevance. Okay, so how I approach relevant swings? Two things can happen. I would go a little bit fast onto the simple things as I said. Manipulation or displacement through true breakout, which is manipulation is basically price manipulating it. Then I frame reversal to the opposing side. Failure to manipulate, when it fails to manipulate, then I frame it as if the reversal of from here is failing, price is failing to manipulate this, then I frame continuation in the same direction, assuming price is not reversing from here, failing to manipulate, then it is breaking through this truly. Okay, simple. So my all relevance is placed here. Now how I would use the daily profile drivers xyz with this idea. Okay, फर्स्ट थिंग इज स्टिल, पहले मैं इंडिकेटर्स को ठीक करूँ, कंफ्यूज नहीं करने चाहिए. फर्स्ट थिंग इज स्टिल रेलेवेंट स्विंग, राइट. Okay, price tags the relevant swing here, right? Now here, immediately once it tags, how would you get to know if it is manipulating or displacing through it? If you are framing the reversal the same day, which this is the same day, there you need a bit more confidence. If you are framing ei- either reversal or failure to reverse the same day of a daily relevant swing, then you need a bit more confidence. Suppose this has been established, then you are framing continuations till there, then you need less confirmations the next day, just open high and low, because you have a already established framework. Here you are trying to establish a narrative. You did not previously know if this is being manipulated or displaced through, then you would need a bit more confidence here. This session is me talking how I would approach using my model and how I would use advanced thing, how I would wait, XYZ, blah blah blah. Okay, here, so when the reversal or the क्या कहते हैं framework is being built the same day, the reversal or breaking through is being built the same day, then I would put a lot of relevance on the driver. Most probably I would wait, but I would still put a lot of relevance on the driver. Okay, let's see which driver it was on Tuesday. Let me confirm. This was Tuesday this week, 7 October. Nothing. So one thing which I have is just 9:30 equities open this day. Okay. Yes, price tag the relevant thing here prior to 9:30. Okay, done. If price has already like formed the reversal point prior to driver, the driver is supposed to do what? Driver is supposed to expand away from it. So that would give me confirmation, okay, price is reversing off of this relevant swing. When driver starts to expand, melt away from it. When driver isn't showing any relevance away from it, then this isn't high probable for me. Then I would most probably wait. And if driver aligns, then and the daily aligns, which it is not kind of deep run, I won't talk about it now, just this case. If driver does not show me clear willingness, then I won't, like, not clear willingness, then I won't be much comfortable assuming the price is reversing from it. Any idea combined with what driver should do, and if driver does that, then that is high probable idea, right? Now 9:30 is here. Price has already reached the relevant swing. Okay, 9:30 should expand away from it. Till at this point, I do not know anything, right? Driver makes a kind of opposing one, but still, if you have a look at it this way, you can still frame it both ways, assuming price is just kind of ranging after hitting, not immediately displacing away, not immediately displacing through, like no clear framework of immediate reversal or immediate breaking through. So then that leads you into waiting. Yes, in hindsight, you can say driver make an opposing run, then close through. Yes, you can take, but nope. If you are unbiased, like you aren't forced with one side, you can still see this as a range after price reach this level, right? The relevant swing, daily relevant swing. Am I right? Now, adding more confidence, we are framing higher probability frameworks. Higher probability frameworks are one directional. That means one sided order flow will be in play. One directional order flow means either bullish order flow, either bearish order flow. Okay, that is one directional order flow. In a bullish order flow, lows are rejected and highs are displaced through. Okay, in a bearish order flow, highs are rejected and lows are displaced through. Okay, this is what we are expecting. If we are expecting price to manipulate this and reverse off of it, we are expecting what? A high probable bearish order flow. Then with the bearish order flow, price should displace through a low, right? So if price displaces through a low, that would be confluence to us, right? So when the framework isn't as much high quality, even after driver comes, you can still wait. This is what you can say a discretionary part, which I use. Clear range, clear range. Okay. If price displaces through, that would confirm okay, price is reversing off of here, and now displacing through lows as well. Now I can be much more confident, and now I can view it as okay, price reached into a relevant swing, now displacing away from it. Can you see it as V shape reversing from here, right? This is what I took if I'm not wrong. Price you can clearly see displacing through lows, and now you can see opposing candles, bearish opposing candles holding price lower. These are signs of what? Bearish order flow, right? Now I can be much more confident, framing it lower. Lows are being displaced through, and what you can see now is price going there, now moving away from. Does this look like a reversal? Yes. So now this is a much high probable position than what? Than this, because at this moment the probability of price reversing from here, yes, it can immediately reverse, but the probability is lower than what it is here. Now you have much more confidence that yes, price is most likely reversing from here. Your main focus should always be over the daily relevance and how price is reacting towards it. Now it is most likely reversing from there. Minimum objective could be low of the day, but previous day low could be considered. Minimum objective, this is current low of the day, this is previous day low. Because in a high probable environment, you have a lot of room towards the objective, right? See, 2.4 here and somewhere here. This is just one breakthrough of this. Makes sense a bit more. Why not here and why waiting a bit more keeps you in a high probable environment. Now the thing I wanted to explain isn't included in this, but still a bit like something better than nothing. I would need to find another example. Like this was your intro with the discretionary part, I can say. And let me find. Okay, done. Yes, I took longs this day as well, Wednesday. Daily chart of NQ, or you can use ES as well. I just framed NQ, but using the framework of ES. Price displacing through a relevant daily swing. If the next day starts moving away from here, right, you can frame this as price not reversing off of here. But at the same time, you have kind of conflicting bias towards both sides. Like yes, price can be reversing off of here, so it leads you into being double-sided in bias, but this is still actionable framework. Like not, you would not expect consolidation here, because either directional move should be done. Like if price is reversing off of here, then the next day should continue. So yes, you have a framework for bearish continuation, yes, but if price is displacing through this high, then still you can expect a bullish day. So anyhow, you have an actionable framework which you can use to take action upon, like not a waiting game, just like how it was on YM for me. Here I cannot expect something. Why? I have no idea how price is reacting to this high. So I was just waiting for this to get hit. So this was not an actionable day for me, not an actionable day for me, not an actionable framework for me, I would say. Actionable framework only comes into play once price react here. Like I cannot clearly say if price is displacing through here or reversing off of here. Then yeah, simply the same example I used for that ES position. If same thing, see how I am using the same thing with the daily chart. I used there with the 5 minute chart. Price reaching into relevant swing, 9:30 going a bit lower, but me waiting for somewhat this kind of swing. Like if price is reversing off of here, then price should displace through lows, very short of lows would be displaced through highs would be rejected, right? But at this moment in time, I cannot confidently say that if it is reversing off of here or failing to reverse off of here. So why not wait until you can say it with confidence, say it with conviction. So let it engage a relevant low. If it displaces through, now you have actionable framework. Okay, price is reversing off of here, displacing through lows, then you have probable framework to frame it lower. Get, but if it rejects here, then you can assume price is not reversing off of here. So sometimes when price is not clear to you, waiting gives you an edge, just like how I use that M5 on that ES position this day here. If you remember, I just break down my Tuesday's short on ES, right? Same thing I was using on YM. Price displacing through low here, then that leads you into a high probable environment with much more conviction. Okay, now price is reversing off of here. I can say it with confidence as it is displacing through a low as well, right? Makes sense? It should. Now. This day you have double-sided framework, but that does not mean that this is not an actionable day. You can still take shorts if it aligns. You can still take longs if it aligns, right? Monday was somewhere here. Now for longs, my preference was NQ as it was the stronger asset. Same thing if you just use this price not reversing off of here, uh, price reaching here, not reversing immediately going higher. Then if this move back lower is retracement objective to me previous day low, because this should stay protected if this is a true breakout framework over here, right? EQ of this opposing candle is being respected as well, yes. Right. This is just for the daily chart narrative part. Okay. So then if that true breakout framework over here is still valid, then the next day should continue away from here, because I would assume this is a retracement. Monday, Tuesday, intra-week low, best spot where it could form, because if this is meant to stay protected, the only swing left to be manipulated is this Monday low. Tuesday manipulates, then Wednesday should expand. It was just asset selection to frame NQ longs, and if price is reversing off of here, then my asset selection would be ES better framework, price reversing off of here and then continuing the next day. Now how you would approach it, this is much interesting, but for in order for you to being able to understand this, you need to have a good hand over the basic fundamentals of my model foundation, which are pretty easy and I have explained them multiple times. I would still go over them, but not in much depth. I would go over the advanced things and the way to simplify them, how you can avoid placing yourself in low probability conditions, and how you can tell if it is a high probable environment or not. Being realistic, yes, it can be framed both ways. So I would be open that yes, this could be a double-sided day. So what can I use? Because extreme objective with this is you want to be placing yourself in a one-sided, one-directional environment. One-directional environment is high probable because it is poised to go in single direction, not up down up down up down, right? One directional is high probable. So what you can use to confirm the narrative of if bearish, then yes, obviously that it is going bearish, it should go bearish or it should go higher. then I would like put a lot of emphasis on drivers. Drivers need to confirm either the bearish framework or either the bullish framework, right? Because logically both frameworks are 100% valid and quality frameworks. I don't want to miss upon them, but I don't want to expose myself too early, right? Until unless the framework is validated, the narrative for one side is invalidated and other side is more validated, right? First, let's talk about the bearish framework. This looks much clean, yes, but what would be your invalidation going into the day? EQ of this day, you can use the full day's range or where it closed. Both works as how you like. क्या मैं इसका नहीं यूज कर सकता? If क्या बोल रहा है? 2 मिनट हूँ भाई, let me complete. If you are wanting to see like, रुको, you are viewing it as a reversal off of the relevant swing, then yes, minimum objective becomes this, right? Range high manipulation, range low objective, minimum objective. But this framework, you have now already established framework to go lower, right? This day you have already reversal of here and open objective. But this would have been simpler if NQ didn't show me a bullish framework at the same time, right? NQ I can frame till previous day. I told that reason from the daily chart, not from the hourly chart, right? And ES off of the daily and hourly both looks bearish. One asset says bullish, one asset says bearish. So why not let one asset confirm its direction and only participate in that asset? ES says bearish, but what if the day was poised to go bullish? Then ES bearish framework would fail as well. So let one asset confirm its direction and other one's direction get invalidated, right? So with assuming that price is reversing off of this relevant swing, right? Then you would need to have some invalidations. Okay, if the next day is supposed to be a continuation day, it should not retrace too deep into the range. Like if it comes back all the way, then kind of my framework is invalidated. That's why we use EQ. I won't go in much depth onto this, just giving an overview. Then I would want small opposing run and price immediately displacing away from this high created around EQ while staying in respect to previous day's EQ. If you want, you can use full day's range. If you want, you can use the high to body. Both works because this has a rejection from the opposing side as well. But let's just talk about it here. I would put a lot of emphasis on the 930 driver. I can see that ES has formed a protected high while staying in respect, protected intraday high while staying in respect to EQ of previous day's range, right? But if you are too desperate to look for entries, yes, sure, you would be able to find any entry here. But my main focus is on narrative, confirming narrative. This is just saying me, okay, if the narrative is for ES shorts, then yes, this should stay protected. And I do have a protected high which I can consider formed prior to 930. Then 930 should do what? Expand away from it. So that would be my confirmation to this idea that okay, this is reversal of a where and a high has formed in the intraday range the next day, which I can trade away from. But when will this be confirmed? If 930 driver, which is just here, expands away from here, right? Then your framework would be validated. Reversing off of here, expansion, retracement, again expansion, sure. But this is just based off of ES. If you have a look at NQ at the same time, NQ I have not too good of an idea, but NQ we were supposed to frame bullish, right? I forgot what was the framework off of the daily, but yes, we were bullish on NQ. So for NQ to be bullish, I would want previous day low to stay protected. If I would want previous day low to stay protected, I would want EQ of this rejection, which is here, to stay intact, and price should like form a lower, stay in respect to this area here, right? Better would be this. मैं मार चलाऊंगा, like stay in respect to this area. But now I am not completely confident if NQ is going for this high or if ES going lower. Sure that ES looks good bearish framework from the previous day and good intraday framework for bearish as well. But I would let 930 pass this day because I have conflicting bias. If NQ didn't say me bullish, yes, I can position myself prior 930 as well this day. But I do have conflicting bias, then that will lead me into waiting for 930. For NQ, I can see kind of protected swing, but still no worries if 930 even sweeps this again. But you can see, yes, kind of protected low in the intraday range, which had an SMT as well. Yes, leave apart, but most emphasis is on 930. Let's see how 930 comes. This is 930 here. Okay, right. If if the indices are meant to go lower, right, and 930 driver reaches into the last line of defense, last relevant swing from the previous day high, then 930 is supposed to do what? Immediately reject off of here and displace lower, start going lower off of here. If the day is meant to go lower, 930 makes opposing run, then it should go lower off of this, as this is the last level where you can expect the high of the day to be formed, right? 930 you want what? To reject it immediately to confirm the bearish framework, which is of ES obviously, but yes, same thing here. 930, and I mean not that too good of a framework. This is somewhat of a range to me, right? Range high, range low. Okay, this is swept. So you can say a protected high formed prior to 930, 930 kind of yes starts displacing away from this. But then again, how to place yourself in a high probable environment and not get violated by other assets framework. Like sure, if you were just looking at yes, shorts made sense, but NQ had a bullish framework as well. That NQ's bullish framework could fail the A plus setup of ES as well. So how to avoid this? Remember, recall that one thing, order flow thing. Okay, if you are expecting a quality framework is present till there 100% price has reversed the previous day off of a relevant swing. Range high, manipulation, range low objective, quality framework. Next day, staying in respect to previous day's invalidation, which is this CQ. Again, quality framework. 930 driver, expanding away from high of the day, quality framework. But just waiting for the first one conference, bearish order flow, highs would be rejected and lows would be displaced through, right? So why not wait to get this displaced through? If 930 displacing away from high of the day and displaces through a low, bearish order flow would be in much more play, right? Sure that you won't be able to catch this from here, but catching this adds to your edge, increases your probability of winning, like makes you position with in the high probable environment. Because at the same time, if NQ wants to go higher, can it directly go? Yes. Now talking about NQ, 930 directly reaching the high of the day, right? We talked about bearish framework. If this was going to be bearish day, 930 already reached the last line of defense, which is this high of the day, then it should immediately reject. But what if it fails to manipulate this, fails to reverse off of this, and instead displaces through this? This is a signature of bullish order flow, right? We already have lows getting rejected, but now the last level which could form a continuation away from here is failing, and 930 is displacing through highs. Displacing through highs is bullish order flow, and that being done by a driver with this much willingness adds to your narrative, right? So just waiting for seeing if NQ displaces through this, that would confirm bullish order flow for me, and I do have bullish expectation prior to this getting hit for NQ, right? I'm not making a bullish expectation for the day just because 930 is displacing through highs. I have a bias from the daily chart already for NQ. That's why I started from there. I'm just using the daily range and drivers for confirmation of that idea. Keeping it as simple as possible, let me remove this as well. Keeping it as clean as possible. 930 not able to reverse off of here. That means 930 is displacing through it. A driver displacing through high, bullish order flow. Then NQ's bullish framework would be into play. And ES, again simple thing. If driver displaces through lows, bearish order flow into play. Now you have clear plan made prior. You won't need to chase price. You won't be acting upon impulsiveness, right? Now let's get into it. 3 minutes, 5 minutes, somewhat. This had been reached. Okay, this was my position on NQ. I showed M5, but my main idea was off of this M4. This was somewhat this SMT or this, I do not exactly remember. Price failing to reverse off of here, instead displacing through here, enough range opposing candle, and the daily range hasn't even expanded, right? It is just up down. So yes, I can expect expansion because daily range hasn't formed yet, right? And I do have an objective open for NQ. So this was my entry for NQ. I would talk about ES as well, but M5 it would look like this. Good thing price not able to reverse off of it. Then that leads it to expand till previous day high, right? That makes sense. But now talking about ES. Yes, sure. I took this, I framed, I walked through this, but how you could avoid ES framework, which was 100% valid? Let's get into it. 930 is here. Okay, good Josh. Price has already formed a protected swing. 930 expanding away. He's kind of confirming it. Now I would simply wanna see if it is really the narrative for the day. For this to go lower, I would want it to displace through here or maybe simply displace through low of the day, because these are the last levels where price, if it wanted to go higher, these are the last levels where it could go higher. With the last line of defenses, if the last line of defenses are failing, then yes, that is the extreme conference. You do not need to wait for the extreme conferences unless you have a conflicting bias with the correlated asset. Let's see how ES reacts there. Yes, not even reaching for there, so there was no way I would even think for an entry on ES, but at the same time NQ showed me framework here. So yes, I took advantage of it, and I then this obviously confirms the narrative even more if you have a look at it off of the 15 minutes. Obviously 930 not reversing off of it. Bullish order for NQ is into play. ES narrative is obviously invalidated by this time, and NQ's narrative is obviously 100% validated by this time. I was already in a long yes. Then I again called out because now I do have much more conviction with the draw, with the direction, and that is being confirmed by the driver as well. 930 driver immediately reaching high of the day and not reversing off of it. Then I called out another position which was streamed by me. Bullish order flow, lows get what? Rejected, right? A low got rejected here. Then this is a position I do have an Open draw. My main position was here, this M4, but I again called out another position. As in a bullish order flow, we know what lows should be rejected. Lows are rejected. We have open draw. So this is the position I called out again. 11 a.m. open no high close. Enough range opposing candle should hold price, right? Large expansion, small retracement. Large expansion, small retracement. This was the idea. So this was another position I called out. Still, why? Because I do have high conviction with the narrative now. Why? Because I put simply a clear statement of restrictions. I let the market go through certain tests, but once it passes those tests, now I do have a bit more conviction. I'm not trying to pick a low here. I'm only trying to find entries after my higher time frame narrative is validated. Okay, the daily candle is going here. Then okay, then I can frame aligning with the daily candle's direction. I'm not trying to frame 1 minute open low high low. This just daily candle suppose poised to go here. My main reason why NQ long still there was still on the daily chart, right? This was the position I did call out in the live stream somewhere. This to previous day high. I was already main position here. This was the pyramid entry, and there it reaches for it. So now, do you people get what I wanted to say? Like, I'm not able to properly explain it, but I'm trying my best. एक सेकंड देना मेरे को.
यार वो लो वाला समझ नहीं आया स्पंदन,
एक
जैसे ना
एक सेकंड. This low here, manipulation off of this, closer through this, same manipulation off of here, 11 a.m. open low, trusting this low. Once it gets close through, execution there, then towards previous day, same idea. Main position being this. कहाँ गया 4 मिनट का? अच्छा, main position being what? भाई मैंने पोस्ट ही नहीं करी हुई. मेरे पास खुद का भी स्क्रीनशॉट नहीं है अभी तक. Yes, I do have up. 9:30 failing to reverse off of here, displacing through this main entry here, same low rejecting, again entry here, get it, this entry. So this is how you when to this is how you like make yourself know when it is a high probable environment where you can take early entries, or when you do need to wait for more info. This is kind of a lesson you can say about when you have conflicting bias, and how to walk through it, and how to place yourself in a high probable environment. In the end, it all comes down to the narrative of the daily chart and how you confirm that. My main focus would always be where the daily candle is more likely to go. NQ told me, okay, towards previous day, ES told me towards here. Both were 100% valid, but confirming narrative is different part than having a bias. I just had a bias for ES going lower. Bias means just being biased towards one direction, right? How you would confirm that narrative in order to get an entry with that direction. That is the important thing. So one thing, when I lack clarity, I do wait like this. isn't showing me any form of willingness, right? So if I was gonna take anything short, it would be below this, seeing how price would react there. Because if price displaces through this, price has already rejected and high, and if price displaces through this, then I can expect price to be an expansive mode. Expansive in the sense, not EXP, not this one, expansion wala expansive, this expansive. We can expect price to hold an expansion. Okay, so with the expectation of expansion, obviously expect expansion should occur, but there needs to be some quality framework. So simply by just putting a restriction on this, how you could have saved yourself from losing on the wrong asset. It never even tagged this. So now you do know how I walk through the wrong assets. Sure, 100% valid. Yes, had the best framework to go short. 100%. Leave this for a moment. Just this. Give me this framework any day, I would say short the next day, every day. But just because I do have a bearish patch, that doesn't mean it guarantees me a short position. Even after this, some days could be an inside bar. So that is why I incorporate aligning drivers. Because if a driver is aligning to your idea, then that makes your 30% probable idea, 40% idea to 80% or 90% probable idea. Sure, you may miss upon this much move, but you get to catch this move with much more probability. You wanna catch this with less probability or catch this with much more probability to your favor. Catching big doesn't mean always better. Catch small but with better probabilities in your favor, with more clarity, with less impulsive moves, blow ups, XYZ, blown accounts. Make sense? अब बोलो रिदम सिंह.
बंदे सेम में सिंह समझ लेंगे फिर.
थक गए हो.
सुन पता है क्या, उधर
ओए पानी ला
यार
दे.
वही एनक्यू वाला खोलना एक बार.
पानी ला दे. हैं? मैंने ही लाया था, मैं मार चला दूंगा ये. माइक ऑन है मेरा, पानी ला दे. रिकॉर्डिंग भी हो रही है तो देख ले, ओबीएस खुला है. यू नो, हाँ. पिल्लो पे पैर चोट पकड़ा मेरे को. चुप. समझ नहीं आता, रिकॉर्डिंग हो रही है. पिल्लो पकड़ा. पानी ला यार जल्दी, फिर पंगे ले रहा है. बोलो रिदम. हेलो.
अरे कुछ नहीं, मैं वो जो एनक्यू वाला खोला था ना तूने, वापस खोलना 1 मिनट पे एक बार, जब ये दिखा रहा था.
उतना एडवांस आपको जाने की जरूरत नहीं है ना अभी. मैं जा रहा हूँ
ठीक
क्योंकि
है
मैंने
फिर,
वो
क्वेश्चन
गया था.
कैंसिल.
मैं गया था इसीलिए. मैं तो जस्ट like framing narrative and how to confirm it and how to like keep yourself out of low probable environment as well. This was something which I wanted to cover. As many people, yes, just stay लकीर के फकीर वाले बंदे. This looks 100% short. I would keep forcing shorts even if I take 10 losses. That shouldn't be the case. Yes, it has a high quality framework to go short the next day, but your bias can always be wrong. But one thing which people will do, keep taking losses until it blows them up, trying to short here, 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 here. Why not try to pick one sniper shot instead of 100 bullets for a machine gun? Take one bullet from a sniper. Keep your shots as selective. Keep your shots, take your shots on selective setups. Two good setups, even if it means waiting for it. One good shot, one quality shot would always, उसको क्या बोलते हैं, तेरे से क्या ही पूछ रहा हूँ, इसको क्या would always outwork 100 bad or mediocre shots. यार फिर पानी पी लिया मैंने रात को, नींद नहीं आएगी अब। जो कर तू। अब बोलो रिदम भैया। Like any day is was there any day on NQES YMXYZ any asset you people want me to go through, like which really messed you up or you were facing problems framing it? I can
मुंबई का डाउट था वो पूछ ले।
I can go through it. बोलो Mumbai।
कुछ नहीं।
ये कैसा कुछ नहीं था है ना? Is there any day, because I want to cover this thing on one more day as well. So if you people faced a problem this week, this month, or even 6 months ago, like how you could have framed XYZ, or this day really messed you up. इसको रिप्लाई हटाओ मेरे इंडिकेटर्स। चांदी चांदी कहंदी मेरी याद तू भी कदे कदे सच्ची
रख
है।
रख
आप
रख ट्रेंडिंग।
अब मार करना रिदम भैया, आप क्या मार करते थे ऐसे?
इसमें नहीं होगी, नहीं हो जाएगी, करना ऊपर करना। अरे उसमें होता था कि जोन है, ये एक तिल्ली नहीं एक जोन।
अब
यहाँ से भी निकलता है गलत है भाई। लो वहाँ के लो से लेके वो ले लो। अरे जैसे मतलब सपोज उस समय होता था कि रेजिस्टेंस जोन है, एक तिल्ली नहीं है, एक लाइन नहीं है,
अच्छा
वहां पे
ऐसा है।
जोन है कि प्राइस वहां से रिजेक्शन ले रहा है।
पर इसमें पता क्या है, आपको
इतना
क्या
बड़ा
पता
भी
वो
नहीं है।
यहाँ से ले, आपको क्या पता यहाँ से ले, आपको क्या पता।
हाँ
Exact
हाँ हाँ, ये सीन
pinpoint
तो होते हैं।
relevant strings are the exact pinpoints. You do not need it to touch this. You do not need it to touch this. This is pinpoint clarity.
अरे वो तो बचपन की बात थी, अब छोड़।
हाँ कोई बात नहीं। चांदी चांदी यार फिर गाने में लगा दिया मेरे। Like if you ask me now,
भाई ये क्वेश्चन है, डॉलर क्यों क्रैश हो रहा है?
वो मैंने ट्रम्प को फोन करा था ना।
क्योंकि अभी वो पंप होगा, वो अभी ट्रम्प अपने पैसे डालेगा ना उसमें सारे, फिर पंप कराएगा उसको।
हाँ चोर है भाई वो।
पता नहीं आपको क्या, ये तो स्कीम है उसकी मोटे की।
Like if you
पता
currently
है,
see
बिजनेसमैन है वो।
using
या
अच्छा phases of price
इन
पर थोड़ा।
अमेरिका द रिचेस्ट
यार
फैमिली
2
जो
मिनट
अभी
चुप रहो ना
वेल्थ फैमिली है
आप।
ना, वो ट्रम्प की फैमिली है, पता है।
ओम भाई आपको पता है रिकॉर्डिंग हो रही है।
ओह सॉरी भाई।
Okay, if you project this relevant string out, but you can see price is now manipulating this. So what becomes your minimal objective? Range high manipulation, range low, right? So going into Monday, do you have a framework? One-sided framework? Yes. Can it directly go without you? Yes. But then again, this is a relevant swing on its own as well. So is there any actionable framework for you the next day? Yes. For bearish, you would want this to stay open, price creating opposing run. Then you can frame this move towards here until and unless this is hit, because this is the objective currently, price reversing off of here, and this is open objective. Until and unless this is hit, I won't be bullish personally. I would only think of being bullish after price tag this and if it shows me proper framework off of here. But let's talk about how you should frame it. This is EQ of previous day's range, right? Obviously you are expecting, ये मेरा accent गंदा कब से हो गया? ओए तू मेरे साथ नहीं बोला कर, तेरे साथ रह रह के मेरा accent भी गंदा हो गया। चुप रह, रिकॉर्डिंग हो रही है। Like you would want, if you are expecting a expansion, a daily expansion candle towards here, you would not want to see it come back all the way up this much, right? Obviously it can go this much up if it stays in respect to this lower area of this candle. then you are still, the framework is still valid. Like you would not want to see deep retracement back into the range. That is the logic with using EQ. If it comes this much back, then this is most probably an avoid day or low probability framework. Ideally, it should create a position and then go. And if this is the case, then I won't be bullish until unless this gets hit. Sure, it can get hit today itself, but until unless this is it, I won't be, neither should you be bullish. Yes, it can create a small range day, neither reaching for this, neither reaching for this. Can happen. Expansion into new phase, either retracement, either consolidation. But I won't expect reversal until unless this is it. And retracement and consolidation both being continuation signature. What comes after consolidation? Expansion in the previous direction, which was this. What comes after retracement? Expansion in the previous direction. So even if a inside bar forms the next day, we are still good to go with this objective again, because the objective for this expansion is still open. Let's suppose you think this way, okay, Friday was a too large range day, so you are avoiding Monday, and if Monday creates does not reach for here and does not come too much back inside the range somewhere here, you can frame off of Monday's range towards here. Make sense? Yes. ये क्या मैं खुद को ही आंसर करता रहता इसको हटा देते हैं. आप पूछो रिदम भैया, कुछ पेजेस ऑफ प्राइस पढ़ाने थे पर अभी मेरे में हिम्मत नहीं है.
वो एडवांस चीजें थी जो मैं पूछ रहा था. कोई नहीं, दो
पूछियो
तीन
तो
चीजें
सही
मैंने लिख के रखी हैं.
वीर, पूछियो तो सही.
वही यार जो अभी तो कह रहा था, एक बहुत पुरानी तेरे को मैंने भेजी हुई थी, वो बचे हुए हैं. मैं तेरे को चैट में भेज रहा हूँ, जो जो तूने मेरे को पढ़ाना है. याद रहेगा ना तेरे को भी?
Yesterday your view is bullish, but it goes downside. Why? Today YM. Okay, I just talked about this, right? Why I won't be participating until this gets hit, right? Because I cannot tell myself if price is reversing off of here or failing to reverse off of here. So for more conviction, I want to see how price would react there, right? Or there. These are the relevant points to me, which would tell me the story. If price displaces through this, then I can assume, okay, price is rejecting a high, displacing through lows. Okay, bearish framework, because these inside bars don't show me any willingness towards any direction. So even from the daily chart, narrative isn't clear. Leave about the hourly. Narrative should be crystal clear off of the daily to you. Hourly should be second for, or these are just for aligning the daily charts narrative. So that was simply non-actionable framework for me until this is it or this is it. So yesterday it hit this. Okay, now I can say this could be an actionable framework for me. Okay, if it reverses off of here, next day if immediately moves back inside, what can I call it? Price is manipulating this, right? Price is manipulating this. If it is manipulating this, that means this reversal of here is not valid. Then I would just frame it manipulation of here, this as the objective. But I would want the next day to expand away from this day. But can it fail to reverse off of this low? Fail to manipulate? Yes. If it fails to manipulate, then I would assume price is reversing off of here, displacing through lows, framing continuation in the same direction here or here towards next element swing. Make sense? Again, the thing is waiting until price becomes clear one directional to you, not picking highs or lows. One thing which would increase your win rate drastically is stop trying to catch this move here. If the draw is here, price would go here, right? Why you want to catch it from here? Why not catch it from here to here? Here to here gives you more probability, adds probability to your favor. But this reduces your edge, reduces probability in your favor, right? But once price is already here, catching this here to the objective is much more probable, right? So why not do this? Why do you need to catch a big move? Small move with clear one directional narrative is and would always be better. Just like recall my that NQ 1 minute long or that 5 minute long this day, this day. Price failing to reverse of aware. Why do you need to catch it from here or catch it from here? Let price confirm the high time frame narrative, the daily charts narrative, then catch once that narrative has been confirmed is one directional. Then why not catch this? Or why not catch this? Then trying to catch it from here. Sure, you can catch a big move, but big move isn't necessarily big. You can risk more when you have bit more conviction from here or from here. That will lead probability into your favor, and that you can use to even risk more on these setups compared to as what you would risk here. So waiting for high time frame narrative to get confirmed would always save you and make results go in your favor. Like tell me at this time where is price most likely to go? This previous day high here or this previous day low here? Most likely previous day high, right? Most likely here, then it is likely to go. मैं मार चला दूंगा here, right? Why not capitalize on this move here? Sure that it looks small, but if you know how to use it, this was still a 4 hour position here, if you remember. Isn't this enough? Let's assume you got a fill here, still 4 hour, and you can risk more with much more confidence on this. Isn't that enough? You do not need to catch a big move, you need to catch the high probable move. जिसने पूछा था उसको क्लियर हो गया डाउट? नाम भूल गया मैं भाई का, वाईएम वाला।
सुरेंद्र भाई,
हाँ जी भाई, नींद आ रही है आपको?
भाई आपकी सेहत की ध्यान रखते हुए 1 बज गए हुए हैं।
हाँ गैप हो जाओ, फेजेस ऑफ प्राइस में वैसे भी नहीं पढ़ाने वाला था अब आपको।
वो पढ़ना भी नहीं है, वो तो मैं खुद ही पढ़ लूंगा, टेंशन ले उसकी।
खुद ही पढ़ लोगे? ये चीज बोल के आप
मतलब
बहुत
वो
ज्यादा
सब चीजें
पछताओगे, पता आप।
खुद पढ़ूंगा, फिर तू टेस्ट लेगा, फिर नहीं आता होगा, फिर तू पढ़ाएगा, सिंपल।
हाँ इतना ही, मैं वो चोल जो मैंने करने से सीधे खुद ना समझाऊं।
अभी नहीं, अभी नहीं, अभी नहीं
अभी
भाई,
समझा भी
अभी
नहीं रहा
कुछ
मैं।
नहीं आ रही, समझ नहीं आ रहा। अभी नहीं रहे हो भाई, मैं तेरे को भेज दी लिस्ट, जो जो पढ़ाना तूने, देख ले।
आया नहीं कोई डीएम? अच्छा आया।
दी, देख,
नहीं आती भाई
घूमती
नोटिफिकेशन
रहनी
मेरे
चाहिए
को।
लिस्ट। ये लिस्ट गुप्त रहनी चाहिए, गुप्त।
Okay, then I would end the stream if nobody else has any doubts. If you have, put them below. I would go over them in the next session.
भाई सारे मैसेज डिलीट हो गए गलती से,
Hmm?
सारे मैसेज डिलीट हो गए। एक मिनट रुक। चल भेज दिए भेज दिए। सुनंदन टॉगल, टॉगल क्या होता है? TOGGLE।
टॉगल करना, अब इसको मैं कैसे समझाऊं? मतलब बताना आता है इसको, करना आता है, पर इसके
चलना
रिलेटेड
था।
है यार। क्या बोलते हैं?
अरे मैं ऐसे सी ऐसे ही कोई आउट ऑफ नोवेयर। चल ठीक है, गुड
आपने
नीनू।
ट्रेडिंग व्यू के टूल पे
पहले
पढ़ा है,
देख
मेरे को
लिया तूने
पता
पहले?
है।
डिस्कॉर्ड के टूल पे देखा मैंने।
वो टॉगल कुछ और होगा, फिर इनके पता नहीं क्या क्या नाम होते हैं।
अरे तू तू देखना, पहले देख लिया तूने क्या क्या पढ़ना है?
अच्छा, आपने भेजा होगा। पढ़ना है पढ़ाना है, चोर है।
मतलब पढ़ना है मैंने, पढ़ाना तूने।
कुछ नहीं है, मेरे को मैसेज आया हुआ लास्ट मैसेज मेरी तरफ से।
यार हो ही नहीं सकता।
हो सकता है कि नहीं हो सकता, लास्ट मैसेज है मेरी तरफ से।
चीटिंग करता है। ये ले फोटो, फोटो ले तू, रुक।
थक गए हो ये रहो।
थक गए भाई अब। आज व्रत भी रखा होगा ना आपने, कोई बात नहीं। देखा ही फोटो?
आपका कोई मैसेज नहीं आया मेरे को। अब आया।
यार खोल चैट खोल। फोटो आई या टेक्स्ट आया?
एक्चुअल क्या होता है? और आज क्या समझाया मैंने ड्राइवर? क्या समझाया मैंने आज? ड्राइवर समझाने में मार चला दूंगा।
ये नहीं, ऐसे नहीं भाई, ऐसे नहीं होता कुछ भाई। ये तो ये नहीं है भाई ड्राइवर। ऐसे तो वही ड्राइवर, गाड़ी चलाने वाला बंदा। ये तो वही बात होगी।
तब से आज क्या समझा रहा था मैं, चोर है कि ड्राइवर की अलाइनमेंट कैसे आपके
ऐसे
लिए पेट्रोल।
मेरी बात सुन, ऐसे नहीं समझाएगा, पता है कैसे समझाएगा? एक ही बार ही समझूंगा यार, मैं बार बार से नहीं खाऊंगा, पर एक बार अच्छे से समझना। कि जैसे मतलब ड्राइवर कहाँ हिंदी में प्रॉपर, कि जैसे हिंदी है ना, जैसे तूने बताया कि ड्राइवर यहाँ पे आए समझ ले 9:30 बजे, इस कंडीशन में हम ऐसे करेंगे, वो वाले लो पे हम ध्यान नहीं देंगे, इस वाले पे देंगे। अब जैसे मेरा एक डाउट था NQ वाला 1 जुलाई का, रुक मैं तेरे को मैसेज करता हूँ। वो तूने मेरे को समझाया नहीं, बोलता कि वो एडवांस है, ये वाला रुक।
कब बोला मैंने चोर है?
ये वाला देख, अभी आया मैसेज, कर चेक, चेक कर। ये वाला मैंने तेरे को पूछा था, तूने वो उस वाले लोगों को ट्रस्ट क्यों किया, इसको क्यों नहीं किया? और डिस्प्लेस तो ये भी बड़ी जल्दी हुआ था।
क्योंकि वो
याद
मेरा
कर,
ऐसे
मैंने पूछा
सिलेक्शन था,
क्वेश्चन।
वाईएम पे लिया था मैंने लॉन्ग। बच्चे,
मैंने
मैं
भेजी है
लॉन्ग एनक्यू
फोटो,
मारना ही
NQ
नहीं
पे
चाहता
लिया
था।
वन।
मैं मारना ही वाईएम लॉन्ग
देख
चाहता
रहा
था।
है तू?
मेरे को पता चल गया आप किस दिन की बात कर रहे हो।
हम्म।
वही तो, पहली चीज हमेशा होगी हाई टाइम फ्रेम्स। 3-5 मिनट तो सबके सेम लगेंगे इंडिसेस के।
यार वो तो ठीक है, पर उस स्लो पे क्यों भरोसा नहीं किया और इस पे क्यों किया?
मेरे को दिन याद नहीं है, मेरे को दिन देखना पड़ेगा। मैंने उस दिन पहले वाईएम पे लॉन्ग
ए, ए,
मारा,
1 अक्टूबर, 1 अक्टूबर।
फिर मैंने एनक्यू पे मारा। एक, पक्का ही एक।
हाँ पक्का पक्का।
रिकॉर्डिंग मैंने बंद करी है, देखो चल रही है। बंद करके करूँ नई वाली या इसी में?
यार दोनों को इकट्ठे जोड़ देना एडिटिंग में, थोड़ी कुछ एडिट करने वाला है नहीं होता इसमें।
मैं एडिट करने का जो मैंने लेना नहीं चाहता कि ये अलग से रहेगा, तो ये अलग से ढूंढ जाएगा, मिल हो जाएगा। पूरी 1 घंटे की वीडियो नहीं देखनी पड़ेगी। बताओ।
कट ही करना वहां से। तो ये मेरे को ड्राइवर अच्छे से समझाएगा जब मैं ड्राइवर में डाउट लेके आऊंगा ना तेरे पास, मतलब क्या क्या पढ़ना है।
ड्राइवर का काम ही आपने यूज करना है उनके साथ, हाई टाइम फ्रेम का डायरेक्शन अलाइन करने के लिए।
अरे नहीं, मैं तेरे को अभी नहीं, अभी नेरे में हूँ, मेरे को खुद भी डाउट नहीं आएंगे बोलना।
पर आपको उसके लिए पहले स्टडी करना पड़ेगा। कल जो काम है वो करते हैं, पहले वो करो, पहले पूरा महीना
ठीक है,
स्टडी करो फिर।
करूँगा।
ये वाला दिन बोल रहे हो आप, है ना?
मेरा दोस्त, ओ भाई मेरा दोस्त पागल हो गया है।